Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be I was on a date with a girl I'm seeing, was on a date with another guy, and our next date is in 2 days. So this guy is on a date with his new girl, and this is crazy. It's like, what are the odds of this happening? And so I've had some similar ones in the past, but usually it's the dude with the girl or vice versa. It's never like both of them. And so this guy's at a restaurant, I think, having dinner, drinks, or whatever with this girl he's on a date with. And then in walks another girl he's been out with twice. And she's with a different guy and literally sits down next to them at the next table. And he has a date with this other girl in 2 days. And so they made eye contact, and he said he almost choked on his food. So that's kind of funny. This is kind of a fun email. Interesting situation here. So there's no way she can get pissed at him, and there's no way he can get upset with her because, like, again, he only had 2 dates with her so far. So it's clear he's got options, she's got options, and, well, you got to each meet at least one of the other's options. So he says, "Hey, Coach, I emailed you last week about rescuing a situation where the girl gave the cheek while being physical during our first 2 dates. Well, I decided to give her a shot. She reached out and wanted to see me more often. I gave her a last-minute decision, offered to go to the park by my house when I just got back home from work. She showed up. She pulled out a spicy lipstick and told me she's into intense sensation that it provides." Spicy, I assume that's the lipstick that it makes, it stings. And so it irritates the lips and makes them blows them up a little bit. I personally hate that shit because it makes my lips numb. I don't like it. And so I don't like it when a girl I'm dating puts that shit on. But whatever. It does make their lips puff out a little bit. But for kissy poo, it's a party foul, in my opinion. I don't like it. Should be banned. Banned from the land of Corey Wayne, but hey, if you guys are into it. So she pulled out a spicy lipstick and told me she's into intense sensation that it provides. And I responded with, "Whoa, that's a bit over the top. How could I even get myself to kiss someone with that?" Exactly. Yeah, make sure you wipe that shit off your lips before you bring them over here to kiss my beautiful, sensitive lips. She responded with, "Don't think about it and just go for it." He says, I obliged, and we ended up making out right there in the spot. Mission accomplished. Well, now that his lips are numb and stinging, and they're going, and he's like, like he's had too many lip injections, Botox, blowing his lips up. I even see some guys that do that. There's a plastic surgeon that has an office. And I see him and his girls, and they all look like they've had too much plastic surgery. Everybody that works there, it's like they look like a bunch of fucking porcelain dolls. And I see the people coming in and out of there, like at the fish lips. It's like, it's so unattractive. Just go with what's natural. It just does not look good. He says, "But wait, Coach, there's more. Just pay additional shipping and handling, and you get the second half of the story." He says, "Well, it doesn't end there. We decided to stop on the way back to our cars and get some food. While at the establishment, another girl that I've went on 2 dates with, walks in with her other date, and they sit right next to us 2 feet away. Oh, what a coinky-dink. How interesting. I was in the middle of saying something to my date, and when I locked eyes with girl number 2, I lost my train of thought. Girl number 1 sees my face and looks at girl number 2. Can you imagine? She knows something's up. I almost choked on my food from the laughter and awkwardness of the situation. We both pretended like we didn't know each other. Girl number 2 and her date didn't stay longer than 15 minutes and ended up getting their food boxed up. Let's get out of here. This guy I'm going out to see Friday is next to me on a date with somebody else. Girl number 1 ended up ripping off my clothes in my car, and we ended up having sex right there by the park. Naughty. well, maybe she kind of picked up on there was another girl or some history or what. Well, he did say he acted like they didn't know each other. So she probably felt something was a little off. And so she thought, she'll make it worth your while. So you get a little action in the back seat of the car. He says it was glorious. But she hit me with, what does this mean about our relationship? I responded, let's take it slow. In an event a week later, you realize that you don't actually like me as much. Huh? Why would you say that? Let's take it slow. In the event a week later, you realize that you don't actually like me as much. What kind of fucking statement is that? How can you talk about yourself that way? Well, you're probably not going to like me as much in a week. Come on, dude. Come on. You got to think about, before you open your mouth, and this is right from the book, is what I'm about to say or do going to make me look more masculine and attractive, or weak and unattractive? And that statement is just presupposes she's going to like you less. I would just say, hey, let's take it slow and see where it goes. But so far, it's looking pretty good. And I do like you naked on top of me, bouncing up and down. Yes, I like that very much. He says, I still have a date that I set with girl number 2 at the beginning of the week for Friday, 2 days from now. I'm sure it'll be a really fun day to talk about our encounter in the wild. So if she brings up, so I saw you, who was that girl you were with? It's like, it was a deep fake. It wasn't me. It's just somebody that looked like me. Honestly, I'm an innocent child of God. It's like, and by the way, remember, whoever's asking the question is the one in charge of the conversation. And by the way, who was that gentleman that you were with? Just turning around on her. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. My question is, what do I do in the event something like this happens again, but the girl acknowledges me and decides to exchange words? I'm an innocent child of God. I don't know what you're talking about. I think you have me confused with somebody else. What is she doing? Is she trying to cock block you or clam slam you or whatever? And if she says, if she brings it up and starts busting your balls, like, I can't believe you're on a date with somebody. Well, I can't believe you're on a date with somebody else. It's like, why would you show up and try to clam slam me when I'm trying to get some action? It's like I didn't cock block you and your date. It's like, hey, it's got to be some give and take. And by the way, you look really hot in those jeans tonight. Just focus on you, hang out, have fun, hook up. You got to show that you're not butthurt. And most importantly, you got to show that you're not worried about losing her approval. Because women in a situation like this, they might try to intimidate you with that and try to make you feel guilty. But make sure you just flip it right around and turn it back on her. Remember, whoever is asking the questions is the one running the conversation. And a good way, especially in something like this, is to answer a question with another question and change the subject quickly. He's like, oh, you're dodging. It's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's a deep fake. It's a deep fake. What is the Joe Biden one? They call it they didn't call it a deep fake. They called it something else. Because there was a video of Joe Biden doing something and they were saying, oh, it's faked. It's like, no, he looked like he was shitting his pants in public. Looked like he was shitting his diaper. It's like, come on. But this is funny. I mean, I would say more than likely you're going to probably fuck girl number 2 on your date on Friday. And of course, we expect to have full details sent to us so we can potentially go through it in another video newsletter. Because if you bang both of these girls, which quite frankly you should, what a great success story. I slept with both those girls. I was on a date with one, and another one I was dating shows up when she's on a date with somebody else. Man, this can only help you. This is nothing but upside. And what a funny story. And so I want to hear what the conclusion is of this. Did you sleep with girl number 2 on Friday? So that's 2 different girls in the same week. That's epic. That's great. That's the kind of thing when your sons, they're teenagers and they're old enough, you can tell them that story. Don't tell your mother. Don't tell your mother I told you this. And then if, of course, they can't keep their mouth shut, it's like, I don't know what they're talking about. Gentlemen don't kiss and tell. I think that's a I think it's an urban legend, honey. Is like, I think they're just messing with you. The boys are just messing with you. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, whatever. It's like, ah. And then you can go to your boys like, wait, operational security. You're not supposed to tell on dad when I share something in confidence with you. What's up with that? Bros before hoes. Come on. Don't tell your mom anything. You just have fun. It's not a big deal. Don't let them get under your skin. Answer a question with a question. Dodge, weave, smile, crack jokes. Don't take it seriously because there's no reason for you to get upset or bothered or perturbed or worried or intimidated. The only thing you guys should be doing, you and girl number 2, is laughing your asses off on your date on Friday and then fucking each other's brains out later on in the evening. So that's a great story. Thanks for sharing. And you know what you should do? You should go, if you're watching this video on YouTube, there are links in the video description where you can subscribe to the members only content on YouTube, or you can subscribe on Spotify, or even better, subscribe at understandingrelationships.com by clicking the plans tab. And if you pay for the annual plan up front, you get a 25% discount. So you get 6 additional video coaching newsletters per week that are exclusive for members only. You get the 3% Man study group and the Mastering Yourself study group, and you get the full version of the Viewers Questions podcast that I do with the girls, and any other special videos and interviews that we do that are members only as well. And so, again, the links for all 3 of those are underneath this video in the video description, so just click on it. And by the way, if you guys are trying to subscribe on YouTube, as far as I know, the Join Now button is not there on a mobile device. So especially if you got an iPhone, it just doesn't show up. YouTube's like, oh yeah, we're slowly rolling that out. So obviously they're not in a rush. So the best way is to use the link. If you click the link in the description in the bottom of this video, if you're watching this on YouTube, that will take you to the page so you can sign up. But iPhone users, you may end up having to use a desktop computer. I'm sorry. It's just YouTube kind of sucks that way. I've already reached out to their creator support, and they're like, yeah, we'll get around to that one of these days, but just be patient. So they're kind of making it difficult on purpose because there's other people that have newer channels, especially people that ripped off my work and don't give me any credit, and they got the Join Now button, which really fucking pisses me off, but it is what it is. So if you'd like to book a coaching session, you got a problem or a challenge that you'd like to get my help with, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen on any page of my website, and book a coaching session with yours truly. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.